Miss this shot. You're not just letting me down, you're letting your whole team down too.
Mad Props. Hello and welcome to Mad Props, the place where you get mad props for your movie and TV props. Here, every prop has a story and every prop matters. I'm Simon and I'm joined by prop collecting Mighty Ducks enthusiast, Aaron. Aaron, thank you and welcome to the show.
Hey man, well, thank you, and I like the intro.
Thank you. Well, the story about how you and I met, and what's funny is this is actually our first time sort of talking, not through like messaging and whatever, has all been through prop collecting in a way. So like, I think you reached out after I'd done a Mighty Ducks podcast with Matt Doherty, talking basically about jerseys and, you know, getting his jersey and whatever. And that was, you know, you were interested in getting, you know, jerseys, screen worn jerseys yourself. Had you had anything before that, or like where did the prop collecting and the jersey stuff start with you?
So nothing really screen used beforehand, before we got speaking, because I didn't even sort of know it existed. I didn't know the realm of of screen used props was such a big world. And I mean, I'm about a year into it now, and it's just like there's so many Facebook pages or individuals on Instagram, websites, all sorts, and I never knew it existed, and now I do. I'm completely infatuated with it, and I'm just like, yep, this is one thing that I need to have. This is a film that I love, so I need to try and get something from that. And it is just a really weird big world that just sort of takes over. I mean, and I've collected things for my entire life, like with films and whatnot, and I've been through hundreds and maybe thousands of films, and it just sort of progressed from there, because I mean, it's cool having all the films, but having something from the film, or even whether it's a replica or the real thing, it's just that little something extra, which is a nice thing to have. So yeah,
it's like this unique thing where you can have something tangible, where it's like, you know, if you were to read a book, it's like, hey, that's great, there's a story there, I've read the story, but there's nothing real there, there's nothing tangible. This is the reason why books are pointless, TV and movies all of the way, because these things do exist, and some of the props, like the Mighty Duck stuff, which you know, we'll talk about, like the jerseys in there are really well made. It kind of adds to it. They're like super high quality, and like you said, there's this element of like a hunt to it, like to hunt these things down, and then when you get them, it's always like this story of how you've had to either like get it into the country, for us anyway, has been
yeah,
or how, you know, you had to go through several people to get it. I mean, so what was the first like prop or screen used thing that you got?
So the first thing I got after finding out, you know, you had stuff in the UK, and people like I'm going to reference his that name, I forgot it, Chasing Jerseys on Instagram, finding out, you know, he had a bunch of stuff, and finding out these things existed. I just sort of went on an internet hunt, like you say, and Google Images and whatever else it was that I was looking through, and found probably something I will never ever let go. You know this one.
Yeah.
Let me grab it off. So I found it on a website called Your Props. And the guy who was selling it, well, he wasn't even selling, it's not a sales website or anything, it's just somewhere where people like to put their stuff, whether it's a replica or screen used and matched and whatever else. People just put their stuff on there, you can share it. So I messaged him and just said, hi, you're right, I'm in the UK, if you still got this and you ever want to sell it, let me know. I think he messaged me about 11 p.m. and I must have been up with excitement, just trying to like get this deal done on the first interaction I had with this guy, for maybe to like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. or something, just trading emails back and forth, or messages on that website even. And it was just like, there was no way I wasn't going to buy it. But it was a month of chasing down Parcel Force, chasing down whoever it was. Yeah, USPS. He sent it through, and it got through Parcel Force. You know what it's like with customs and whatever else in the UK.
I hate Parcel Force with a passion.
Yeah, it's a pain. But this is Goldberg's helmet from D3 the Mighty Ducks, and he wore it against the Warriors varsity team at like the game at dawn or dusk or whatever it was. But you can see at the start of, I mean, I did as much research as I could, essentially just like freeze framing. You know how it is, like just Disney Plus had just launched in the UK at the time as well. So it was a perfect time for me to get it in as best resolution I could. And I was just like, pause, play, yep, okay. Does this line up? Does that line up? Because the visor is actually like off center. So you can see from the point there.
Oh yeah.
It's just off center. And there's loads of little scuffs down here and
they matched up.
Oh yeah, everything like just like all the lines and trying to line it with these and whatever
that's my favorite part, is trying to screen match it. Like, so I did the same. So when I got my first jerseys, which was the Goldberg one, I was freeze frame. I bought the Blu-ray specifically to be like, and the Blu-rays actually
from America
hard
as
to
well.
Find of the Mighty Ducks. And it was just specifically to freeze frame and get all of the things. And when you find those little imperfections that you can see on the screen and then you can see on what you have, it's like, it sounds so nerdy, but it's like a proper adrenaline rush, because it's like, yes, you know.
That's it. That's the one. I'm going to get it. But
Did you put it on as soon as it came through?
Oh, yeah, 100%. You knew it. I didn't know what to do. So when I got it when I went and paid my customs fee in Parcel Force, which was maybe like 45 minutes away, I sat in the car and I was debating whether to open it now to make sure it was okay or wait till I got home and just sort of enjoy that excitement there. And I opened it in the car just to make sure it was okay. And I was like, yeah, okay, it's fine. Let's get home. Drive safe, okay, go. Got home and I think I just sat in a room for about 20 minutes, just like, this is ridiculous. And like you say, like, because the stuff was so well made, it's still held up like what, 20 years? What are we on? Yeah. And like it's hand painted. Everything's that's again with the imperfections helps massively that this isn't just a wrap or anything, because like just the Mighty Ducks down here, because it's like a curved piece, you can just see like it's not perfect, but it is perfect in its own right. So yeah, I put it on and put the film back on and just like triple checked after spending hours doing it beforehand. But yeah, it's got in the actual film, they play, or they have their first training with Coach Orion, and then they walk back into the changing room and they're really tired and whatever else. And Goldberg takes his helmet off and throws it down. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I've just got like, not. This was beforehand when I was doing the research, because it says Goldberg double on the inside. I don't know if you can see that there.
Oh yeah.
Also checked the handwriting against other normal stuff, and everything matched up. But so he throws it down in that scene, and then in the game, when he starts, he pulls on a white visored helmet. If this is a black one, and then as soon as they're into the game, he's wearing this one, probably because they filmed them at the same time and just different continuity issues. But yeah, he must have damaged it when he threw it down. The other one, D2 helmet, I actually know the guy who owns that as well. That's quite damaged down here as well. So he was probably just one of the people that was a bit careless with all the stuff. But yeah, that was the first one that got screen used, and everything else that I've sort of got, some of it I made. Well, actually, I didn't make this one, but I have made stuff. Some of it's handmade, some of it's been released by companies like in mass production and whatever else. But this is a special piece, and because it's like the first one I can't let it go ever. Not
No,
unless
that's awesome. That's like a really like special one. And it's so funny that it's Goldberg's because of because I've had a couple things that I've let go. But I at one point I had a Goldberg jersey from each of the films. I had his one from his D5 one, which I've never seen another District 5 jersey, like
no.
the ones from before, and it was super old, like as in it was from it surfaced on the internet like in 2002, I think,
Oh, okay.
which was, and it was on like a prop store site, and then someone had it and it was just in their basement for like 18 years or something, and then they put it onto eBay. And I have I have all these alerts set up, which is a great tip for people that if they're not doing it, which I like, that almost don't want to tell people because they become competition. But there's I have like alerts out on eBay, and the trick for us in the UK is to have a separate account that has it set up for alerts on American eBay as well.
Yeah.
And it came through, and I was actually out of the country at the time, and I literally just messaged the guy immediately and was just like, "No, how about we end the auction and and we
Had it
sort
on an
this
auction
out."
as well.
And but I let that Connor has that one, Jersey Chasing, and then I had the third one, which you have now, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I'll bring that up for reference. Just pushed a lot of stuff over by accident.
Sorry.
Which is giant. I'm gonna have to stand back.
That's so dope.
Yeah, it's again like when you said the quality is so good, like they really are really good, and they were made by a legit sports brand and like for the movie and stuff.
Well, that's so who to hockey that made that one. They made the jerseys for D1 as well. So this the Hawks one is made by the same company.
Yeah, I noticed that. They're all so good, and it's again. I think was this the first jersey that I got? This was the first screen used jersey that I got, and I think I remember messaging you saying it's on its way back to the UK, and it was just like it's just odd how these things are floating around the world in different countries, and yeah.
Well, that one's traveled a lot, because if we originally, obviously it was in the US, and then the guy that I bought it from was in like South America or somewhere. Like, cause I think he had emigrated from the US down like to the Philippines, and he had it there, and then I bought it, so we sent it over to the UK. I sold it to Jersey Chasing, so it went back over to America, and then you got it from him, so back over to the UK.
Yeah, I mean it's going to stay here for a while, so we're good with that one.
No, that one's great. I do you know the only reason I this is a bit of a truth. So these jerseys didn't used to be in here. I used to have them in a different room in our house, and they were like up like it was a museum. And my wife basically was like, we need to put proper things up on the wall. I was like, firstly, proper things, how dare you? But then
couldn't get any more proper. This is from the film.
Yeah. So I basically just sort of whittled it down to like my two favorite ones, and and I hadn't framed that one yet. I think if I'd framed it, I probably wouldn't have let it go. So I mean, will you ever frame it?
I don't know. In my head, I have a sort of image of a room, whether it's a home cinema or just a dedicated room, bit like your background, where it's just full of my own stuff. And I think if it gets to that point, when I eventually do get this room and have everything set up, I might frame them then. But it's just, I mean, the rooms are ever changing because I'm always expanding. And I don't think I could let specific things go, because taking, like, if I ever had to sell this or the helmet or other stuff that I see permanently being in that room, it sort of I lose the image of the room, and it's not healthy. for the image of the room. But no, I mean, I think if it gets to that point, yeah, I might get it framed, because I mean the framing on the framing job on your stuff is just so nice. And even when you're hunting on Facebook or Twitter or just the internet, you can see the company are so proud of it. Like they've posted it a number of times. And I don't know the name of them, but they did such a good job that it's difficult to say I wouldn't want mine presented like that. Except,
thank you.
Yeah, 360, maybe a 360 case.
But yeah, that would for the helmet. They do bubble framing, so they've got things where they've done like Maradona's like football boot or something, or Muhammad Ali's boxing glove or something, and it's like, which is cool. But I think they're called memorabilia. They're literally just called memorabilia framers or framing. I literally Googled them. I just Googled memorabilia framing, and it was just one that was local here. And it was really good. The guy was like really into it. Like he'd because they were like movie props, and he'd done things like for Indiana Jones and Star Wars and things.
Oh, crazy.
Really into it. So yeah, I've seen that. They're like on his on their like homepage and whatever. And it's funny when you're like Googling to find jerseys, it's funny how you just circle around the same ones over and over.
I'll never get bored looking at them though.
the only downside to framing them is you can't put them on. And I know that sounds like really like sad and whatever, but there's like times where it's like I just want to put it on, but you can't.
And I mean some of the Ducks guys were slated to be in the UK for Comic-Cons last year, and it's like, if I'm going to one, I might wear a jersey, because if you're going to go get a photo with them or whatever it is, it's just a nice added extra. And I'm sure they probably recognize it or appreciate it. So yeah, again, it's difficult, but I mean, they look so good in them frames. One day you might be like, yeah, I've got a spare bit of money, I might just take it out, so wear it for a couple of weeks and then put it back in, and we'll see.
I would love to do that. I specifically, so I have, I've got one of the tracksuits. I have Fulton's tracksuit from D2 for like Team USA, and I specifically bought that to be able to wear it. Like I haven't done it in public yet, but the basketball season's starting again, hopefully at the end of the year. And I'm trying to get the courage to wear it as like a warm up. I mean, it's pretty loud. It's a pretty loud outfit.
Oh yeah.
I feel like if anyone that knows would appreciate it. I think.
Yeah, everyone's gonna think that you've stolen it from like a Gladiators in the 90s or something. That don't know the Mighty Ducks. Like, is that from Jet or something? Not Jack's girl, wasn't it? But yeah, that'd be funny.
Wait, well, can you, before we go on to your other props, can you tell us why, like, what is it about the Mighty Ducks, like, as in, and which one of the three, like, did you encounter first, or like, why are they so special to you?
So I've always loved films, and I've always loved sport, and sport films have just always been like a go-to thing in my life. And I remember going down to the markets with my mum, and there'd be a large video stall, and be like, can I get one this time? Can I get one this time? Like, yeah, all right. And I just got the Mighty Ducks, so I never saw it at cinemas, anything like that. Just picked the Mighty Ducks up. I hadn't even, I don't think I'd encountered hockey before that. So ended up watching it, loved it, burnt the tape out. I was going to say the disc, but it was definitely a tape, which I've still got as well. The tapes from way back when. But yeah, it was that sort of hooked me, and then able to watch Miracle and D2 and Slapshot and all the other hockey movies, which were just as enjoyable, because I started to love the sport like more and more. And I'd be the kid in the street with a pair of blades. I remember specifically getting a pair of Sonic blades for Christmas one year, and they honestly, I remember getting them, and the wheels were so stiff because they're just for kids and they're not like competition things or anything. By the time I'd finished with them, they were like professional skates. They were ridiculous. But I got a street hockey stick from what would have been JJB Sports then, in Manchester. and just playing on the street and stuff. And an old dude walked past and said like, "Oh, if you want to play hockey, like there's a sports center a couple streets down that does it on a Saturday." And he turned out to be in my head the coach of the Hawks. They weren't the Hawks, but in my head they were, because he was the coach of another team. But I didn't know this until I turned up to my first match, and there he was, the other coach. But so I started playing hockey, and it just went from there. Like I was 9 years old, and then by the time I was like 15, 16, playing internationally, like for England, going on trips abroad, playing in France, playing in Portugal, playing in Spain, mainly Europe. It's a very European sport, the hockey that I played, because I'm sure, like you, we don't have ice around here, so it's just not getting any ice hockey in whatsoever. So yeah.
But this was ice hockey, not roller hockey. It was ice hockey.
No, I played roller hocky.
Oh, roller hockey. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, it takes the magic off a little bit, but
no, it doesn't.
It's all the same to me, because I enjoyed it, and I mean I've got the scars from it now. I've got my own jerseys, and I still play every now and again when I can. But I'm just a fat old man compared to what I was 20.
Well, that's amazing, man. That's so cool. I mean, I got rollerblades as well, because I was inspired by the Mighty Ducks, and would just fumble around my street, around the cul-de-sac I grew up in, just on my own, trying to.
That was me, mate. That was me too. It's crazy how sort of when you speak to people that like us, that love the Mighty Ducks and openly express it on social media, it's odd how similar lives can sort of compare. Like I played basketball as well. I played it in college, played it in high school. I played pretty much any sport except, no, there wasn't really an except. I think I did play. Yeah, I played tennis, played basketball, played football. I didn't play water polo just because it was a faff carrying all the stuff to school. Table tennis, like just hockey, obviously. I didn't get involved with rugby because hockey was already beating me up enough. And I was training like 3 days a week when I was like 12 and 13. So it was pretty intense. But
rugby's also garbage. We can say it. Rugby's a stupid sport. It's garbage. It's trash.
It's it's definitely an acquired taste. And I don't mind watching like in the World Cup or whatever, but I'm not gonna sit there and be affected by a result. Or I mean, I tell you what, the day there's a good rugby film.
Never.
Yeah, I don't think there will be, but the day there is a good one, I will sit down and concentrate and watch it. But until then, I'm good with rugby, thanks.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm also good. If there's a good rugby film and you see it, you can tell me and I will pretend to have watched it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll watch it together and we'll just say it's crap.
Yeah.
Not enjoy it.
Well, okay, well, hang on. If you had to order them, the Mighty Ducks movies, what order from favorite to least?
I think 2's always going to be, it's just the most entertaining. There's so much going on and there's a lot more hockey in it than there is in the other 2 films. That was one of my things. Like when I was watching films, if there was more of the sport that it was actually about in the film, I enjoyed it a lot more. 2, 1, and 3. I think that's probably most people's orders. One's one. It's going to be legendary for forever and ever. Averman wearing a flipping cardigan instead of a jersey is just hilarious, and just all like it is the ragtag like bunch of kids, really, isn't it? It's just so nostalgic. Flipping bike helmets and the scene in the mall when Mark Wahlberg's what's it called, Good Vibrations are playing and stuff. Just actually that was in the shop, I think. Yeah, when they're like getting the new kit. Just things about it are so nostalgic. And when you hear about, Steve Brill, the writer and director, I'm sure you know that, but for the sake of everyone else, for us nerding out on it, when they say like, oh, it was originally supposed to be like a darker film about Bombay having issues and everything else, it's just like, I'm thinking of other films now. Like I need to see that film as well. But yeah, there is a 2, 1, and 3.
Yeah, I agree, and I think, like you said, that is, I think, most people's opinion. I think the first one, it feels, is like a well-rounded film. Like, I think if you were to even take it from like a critic standpoint, obviously it's not like Oscar worthy or anything, but it's
Nah,
like that's like a classic early 90s. Everyone can watch it and enjoy it and get something out of it film. And then the second one is like that on steroids, but in like the perfect way. It's like
bigger
so
budget.
crazy. I mean, and all of the things about it, I love. Like, all of the Hendrix hockey stuff, and all of that. It's just the best. And there's so many little fan theories that's so good. Like, have you heard the theory that Dibbles is actually the devil, and Bombay is like signing his like soul away? And
That's hilarious. I've not heard that, but that's brilliant.
all of those. Have you? What do you think of the TV show, the new TV show on Disney Plus?
I think anyone that still likes the Mighty Ducks films now and can watch them and still enjoy them, we're all going to have similar feelings towards the series, which is we'll welcome it and it's great and stuff. But the only parts that are going to hit are the nostalgic parts. So Bombay coming on when he starts skating on the ice and the music's playing. I've not watched the latest episode. I'm not too sure which one it is. Maybe 4 or 5. But yeah, it's good. It's not Mighty Ducks I know, and it won't be. But I know when they're on screen, or there's like the references to things like the Hendrix, like it's the Hendrix Center, right, or something like.
Yeah, yeah, the hockey pavilion or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
like that's cool and stuff. And some of the kid actors are actually really funny. I don't know names, but they've been in a number of things that I've quite enjoyed. There's a film called Good Boys that I worked on and we released a couple of years ago, and the main kid in the new series is in that, and he's so funny. When I saw him cast, I was like, yeah, okay, look, he's cool. I'm on board with it. But yeah, script's not the same. The 90s scripts, a lot of it is ridiculous and it wouldn't appear in a script today. But yeah, it's it's enjoyable for what it is. But the good bits are going to always be the nostalgia bits for me.
Yeah. What's that? Sorry.
What did you think?
I I've watched it. I'm watching it every week as soon as it comes out. And I feel the same way that you do, but I really would like to have a go at rewriting it.
Oh,
Just in that, I feel like they've forgotten who Gordon Bombay is. Like, they're treating him like he wasn't a lawyer, like in the beginning, and he wasn't
yeah,
like a super intelligent guy, and like
had a big career.
yeah, and now he's like some sort of like, like
Has
that
been.
homeless guy, yeah, and
Yeah.
some basically like douchebag. And it's like, but he, like, how many times can he go through this? Like, the first movie, he went from being like a prick to being a great guy, and then the second movie, they had to reset it, and he went back to being a prick, and then he became a great guy. And it's like, he's a great guy. We've done it now. He's like, or I don't know. I just wish that he can. Have you seen Cobra Kai?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? When the Ducks was coming out and Cobra Kai did so well, everyone's reaction was like, if they can do that to this, that would be amazing. But it's the Disney Channel.
Mm,
Let's not sugarcoat it. It might be on a streaming service, but it is the Disney Channel. So
yeah.
they're not gonna do that. It's not what they make. It's just not what they make. It's not the Avengers. It's not anything even in that realm. It's the Mighty Ducks. So it's always going to be focused on kids, essentially. So
Yeah.
Cobra Kai was just, yeah, that was really good.
Cobra Kai is amazing. I mean, I just think as well though, even like the way the hockey is shot, it was shot better in D2. I think, like for the hockey that I like to see anyway, it was like, and it might be like ramping up towards it. And I get that they have to focus on the new kids like that completely. And like you said, I think a lot of them are quite, funny, and I enjoy it, and I can see it for what it is. But I don't think they're tapping enough into the nostalgia. Like I think there could be more references to the movies that could play into it. Like talk to me about a flying V one time.
Yeah, just have a picture on the wall and just say, yeah, this and this and this. I mean, they did mention it in one of them, didn't they? It was the kid who does the podcast who was like, oh, the inventor of the flying V. And he was just like, well, go and try that. Put that in the thing. Come on. But yeah, I mean, I don't need the storyline of the mum not getting on with people at work and whatever else. It's just like, if this is the Mighty Ducks and you're sort of easing Bombay back into it, I don't know. I mean, if they just start doing more episodes filled with more Bombay stuff, and it's sort of progressively more important, or a more important part of the actual episode, maybe I'll forgive them. But yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. We just want more back of the Mighty Ducks that we know.
Yeah, exactly. And then my final gripe, and I'm saying, like, I am enjoying it. I promise. I'm not trying to be like, negative, but
No, me too.
My final gripe is the team name, the Don't Bothers. That's not a team name. Give them a proper name.
Yeah. And I mean, I remember seeing something, it was like online, and it was like the Gophers or something like that. And it was just like, where is all this creativity gone? Like, there's not. Tell me about the districts. The Cardinals are in there wearing the same flipping jerseys, which is the best part of the series so far. Give me some. Tell me about someone getting the measles and stuff. Like, just that's what we need. And instead, we've got the Ducks in what is a Manchester Storm ice hockey jersey. It just is. That's what it is. I don't know if you know that jersey, but I mean, it's the exact same, which is kind of cool. It's a cool looking jersey and whatever else, but yeah.
I'll bring those jerseys up on the screen.
Yeah.
But
it's a carbon copy of it, and I'm sure they didn't think we need a good jersey. Let's copy Manchester Storm's jersey. I'm sure they didn't, but it's weird for me to see. It's weird for me to see that jersey and think, is that supposed to be the Mighty Ducks? The Mighty Ducks had the coolest jersey, most recognizable jersey in the world for the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Even the team goes back to it every now, like the Anaheim team goes back to it every now and again, whether it's a throwback or teasers or whatever else, or they're talking about their legends because they still make sales of them, surely. So I don't know. Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head again.
Well, thank you. I think we both have. It would be nice as well, maybe bring the Hawks back, or bring some of the other teams back, the Jets and whoever else. Did I just make that up? There is one called the Jets, isn't there?
Yeah. They were in a really horrible, like, teal, grey, and orange jersey. It's sad that I know that, but
I could picture it as well. Well, show us what else you have.
So we'll go from the Mighty Ducks while we're on it.
Go for it,
cool.
Man, for sure.
So I mean, I'll rattle through these because some of these are just replicas. So I've got this Gunnar Ståhl Iceland jersey, which is
dope.
It's got yellow stitching on the back, which that wasn't a thing when I bought it on eBay. So I messaged them, and a lot of them are in somewhere in Asia or the Philippines or wherever. And I was just like, why has it got yellow stitching on when your one in the photo has blue? And it was just like, oh, after waiting 6 weeks for it to arrive, it was just like, oh, I'll send you a blue one. And I was just like, right, okay. The jersey is actually blue as well, which I don't know if you can make out on camera.
It looks good quality though.
Yeah. I mean, it's all embroidered. It's about as good as it's going to get until I eventually, hopefully, get the real thing.
Is that like, are they like your Holy Grail jerseys, the Iceland ones? Or because I mean they're really cool. I mean they're very similar to like the Hawks ones, aren't they? The same colors.
Yeah. So I don't know. All of the antagonist teams have great jerseys. The Hawks, Iceland, even the Warriors. The Warriors wore the same colors that I wear as well for my team, black, red, and yellow. So that was always going to be a favorite. As soon as they came on, I was like, oh, they're nice. But I mean, you know how scarce some of them are. The Iceland one seems quite out there and common as far as these things go. So I'm hopeful to get one of them at some point. But yeah, I think top of the list would honestly be the Hawks, bar the D5 green jerseys for the Dogs. Yeah.
They're like gold. They're like literal gold.
And the fact that Disney buy these things back off private collectors and put them in museums and whatever else.
Do they?
Yeah, Disney have done that with a number of things. Not necessarily just the Mighty Duck stuff. Like, again, like getting deep into the prop world, you meet a lot of other people. And yeah, Disney have bought stuff back and put it into, I don't know, archives or museums or whatever it is. I'm sure they have something similar to a Hard Rock Cafe in Disney World, where they just have random stuff on the walls from previous years and all that good stuff. But yeah, so there's Iceland. There's a replica of something you've got behind you. But I always try to get different players as well. So like if I ever get the chance to meet them for wherever it is, at work or at Comic-Con or whatever, I might have something of theirs, which is like, it's great. This I actually got years ago, like years and years ago, maybe like 8 or 9 years ago. It's got the Hendrix patch. It's not full size, as you can see. It's like a baby Hendrix patch. It still looks quite cool.
I've never seen a replica with the full size Hendrix patch for some reason. It looks really good. So it's turn it around again. Sorry, please. The stars and everything are all in the right place, because with the USA ones, that's how you can screen match them. Is all of the stars are slightly different angles. Yeah.
They're stitched on and everything. It's not poor quality. And I mean, I'm sure at one point this was a hockey jersey because just the material that's used. But yeah, it's odd. It's even got the fight strap, which is random. But yeah, any hockey fans out there will know what that is. But yeah, I got this years and years and years ago, and I mean, I'll pick up replicas every now and again if it's a new one, or if I know it's going to be half decent quality. So there's that one. There's this one, which is terrible. It's so bad. I mean, just for comparison again, like this is the real thing. And this is what they sent me. That is an image they used, by the way. They used an image of a real one. And then
that happens quite a lot.
Yeah, orange monstrosity. What on earth is that?
But if you didn't know properly, like if you weren't such an enthusiast, then you probably wouldn't even be bothered.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. But I'm quite particular with things. Again, like collecting for years, whether it's a special edition Blu-ray or whatever else. It's got a little ding, or the color's not right, or whatever it is. I'm sending it back because it's not what I paid for. And it sounds horrible. But I mean, you just sort of have to be. If you're I've not got OCD or anything, but I'm quite particular with things. And if you're gonna send me a flipping orange jersey, then you're definitely getting a message back. But look at the difference.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, like they sort of got it right, and then just messed up with the colors and whatnot.
It's funny what you said about people making replicas and then using the pictures of the actual ones, because I've seen that a lot with like jerseys that I'm like, oh yeah, I know that because I have that, or I know that because Connor's got it, or yeah, and this like there was this. I'm sure that you've seen it.
Game used hockey.
Yes.
Yeah.
But which is a guy that has a collection that is ridiculous. But there's another one that's really hard to find. It's really hard to find the website. And when you do, like, it's really old. But
Yeah, I know
what
who
I'm
you
talking
mean.
about?
Yeah, and it takes you through to different pages when you start clicking through this particular jerseys, and it's like they had everything.
Everything.
Riley's from D3, like all sorts. Guy Germain's, Portman's.
Everyone's. They even had like Bombay's, in the flashback in D1, where like his, missing
Yeah,
a shot and whatever. With the most amount of pressure that anyone
yeah,
could put on him.
yeah.
And they had his jersey and like, which is the old school Hawks jersey. And so they all exist out there. And then one other thing I was going to say is, you were saying about Disney buying the jerseys back. There's a guy called is an actor called Antoine Tanner who's in One Tree Hill. I know you don't watch One Tree Hill, but have you seen Coach Carter?
Yeah.
He's one of the players in Coach Carter. The
So
coach.
Antoine, what? Who does he play in Coach Carter? Do you know?
Worm. He plays Worm in Coach
Okay,
Carter.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw it on your Instagram. Yeah, Worm.
Yeah, he so the guy that wrote One Tree Hill wrote Coach Carter as well.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and there's an interview with him, or it's one of our. For anyone that doesn't know, we do a One Tree Hill podcast, and someone had written in, and because I was talking about that, I'm trying to get the jerseys from that show, and they don't exist. Though they do exist, but they're all locked away in Warner Brothers somewhere. But Antoine Tanner said that he asked for his jersey, like because he had one that he'd played in and whatever, and the studio said you can have it, but you've got to buy it from us for $3,500.
What?
So, but that goes to show that their value.
I know times are hard, but Warner Brothers, come on.
Well, this was years ago, probably as well. Like,
and they're just sat there doing nothing. I mean, it's been said before, and I'm sure it'll happen again. There must be somewhere in the US that still has a load of Mighty Duck stuff just in boxes, whether it's pads or jerseys or whatever. There must be some stuff because not everything could get out. People, you're not supposed to take stuff anyway. It's down to the discretion of the production crew. So, yeah, I mean, there must be somewhere.
Well, the guy that played Woo 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 Kenny Woo.
Yeah.
I think is his name Justin. I think his name's Justin.
Yeah, Justin. Oh, I'm not going to butcher his last name by a guess, but yeah, Justin, I think.
Well, he just recently I'm sure you saw it because anytime there's anything Mighty Ducks prop related, I can guarantee that in the comments it's going to be Connor.
We're all there. I say all of us three.
Yeah. Well,
and some other people's, yeah.
He has all of his jerseys, and he's the only person that I've seen that has it. And his USA jersey is the only other one I've ever seen that has the Hendrix patch still on it. And for some reason, they were all taken off because I think they were going to be reused or something. Apparently,
that's weird.
Because there's two of the USA ones anyway. There's two of each jersey. And I've seen the other Goldberg one. I've spoken to the person that has it, and it doesn't have the patch on it. And again, because of the stars and whatever, you can tell what games they were used in. And
yeah,
I was quite lucky. This is the one that's used in both the Iceland games. It's really lucky.
Yeah, that's great. I think I know which person you're on about as well. That he actually, if it is, I think he's posted a picture of this because he wore it as well.
Okay.
Are you talking about the stunt double guy?
I don't know. I can't remember. It was just someone on Instagram, but
so there's the stunt double is on Twitter, and he has all his stuff. The green jersey, the D5 green jersey, Goldberg's stunt double.
Oh, okay, right.
And he often posts, well, not often, but every now and again he'll post not a Polaroid, but like a 6x4 from the 90s, whether it's just him and Goldberg, or there was this Iceland's and someone else's helmet. He must have took a picture of them before they was on set, and not Iceland, it would have been the Warriors. So the one that Scott would have worn, it was like the screaming face. He's posted pictures of that before. And I know he's got all his stuff.
That's cool. That's really cool. I mean, also I commented on Justin's picture, and he was replying to people. So I asked him. I said, how did you get these? Did you just take them or what? And he said that his mum was just persistent that he was going to get his jerseys, which I love because
That's
that's
a great
sort of like
mum,
what
that.
my mum would have been like.
Yeah. That's
So
a great one.
Yeah, so he got to keep them. So that's really cool.
Yeah, when I've spoken to a few of the cast, one more frequently than others, and when I asked him like, how was it like getting things, he was sort of like, you're not really supposed to take them, but you sort of have to not be obvious about it and not take the mick. But he's still got a number of his things. I won't say who it is because discretion and whatever else. But yeah, I mean, if the stunt double's got all his, and I'm sure there's so many other stunt doubles that have a load of stuff too that just don't use social media, or we don't know who they are, or they haven't posted about it or whatever else. But yeah, it's crazy how I mean, Justin's post was great anyway, just to see them all together as well. But yeah, from our perspective as collectors and stuff, it's just like, just sell them to me or one of us, so they're out there.
Or just give them to us. Give them
That
to
as
us.
well.
You don't
Yeah,
need
I
to-
mean,
just let us have them.
yeah, I'll pay for. I don't mind paying for postage. That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this other one that I got again. This was one that I got years and years ago as well. Was the Warriors one.
That's
It's
cool.
a replica, but it's again pretty decent. And I actually met Michael Kudlitz, who was Cole. I also wore number 9 as well, so I have a weird thing about the number 9, and it'll always sort of be my favorite thing to try and get.
That's cool.
Yeah, I should have got him to sign on the number, and I don't know why. when he does eventually go to another Comic-Con in the UK, and I'm there, I'll get him to sign the number. But he was a nice guy, and when I was watching The Walking Dead and saw him pop up, I was like, is that Cole? Is it? Because he had ginger curly hair and stuff, and I was like, is it? No. And then looked through it all, and it was, and I was like, no way. Just
he played a cool character in that as well, wasn't he?
yeah,
Like,
he was a badass. But I mean, The Walking Dead's a whole nother subject. As I think, as far as replicas go, this is the last one, which is again, you and I will know the difference. You can see in your corner the fade away at the end, and this doesn't have it, and all the other discrepancies. But this was mainly like, again, if he's coming over to the UK, I would get this signed and just sign it on the back, because it doesn't look like that. nice easy place for him to sign. So
did you see that? So speaking of Adam Banks, who was by far my favorite when I was a kid, of course.
Yeah. Obviously, he was the best.
He was the best, and he was a cake eater. So, but
yeah.
his green jersey went on. It's like easy to see. It went on auction in America. I think in like Calabasas or something.
Yeah.
Like about 5 years ago, maybe a bit longer. I'm so upset because I don't think it went. I mean, it went for a lot of money, but I think it's probably worth more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether it's sold at the starting price, but I mean, the price that I see every now and again is $2,000 in dollars.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'd sell a couple of things, including part of the house, to try and get that. But I mean, it's probably long gone in someone's collection, because I've not found it anywhere else since. Seems that things seem to sell and then just sort of go missing for a bit.
Yeah, I think some people are just like, well, then I'm never gonna part with this. You know, it's like there, and that's cool. I mean, like I have things that I would never part with either. But I guess, yeah,
Yeah, it's people's choice, isn't it? And again, like they might have it in a cinema room,
That's
perfect
it.
framed, using my image in my head. Like they might have it like that. So I'm sort of at peace with. I will never have everything. Like it's just impossible. But I'm going to try and get as much as I can. So we can.
Well, this is a question that I want to ask on every episode. What would be your holy grail of a prop? Any prop, any movie. Imagine that it's, cost isn't an issue, or you're going to get gifted it for just being such a great person. That your reward is any prop you want from any movie. What would it be?
That is a tough one. Just for rarity, I think I'm gonna have to say maybe that Banks jersey, or Conway's, or Bombay's, one of them. I don't know. I mean, we could go elsewhere, and it could be like, oh, the DeLorean, or
DeLorean, yeah,
America Shield, or whatever it is. But I mean, there's so many replica DeLoreans that are usable and whatever else. Like if you've got a couple £1,000, you can well, maybe more than a couple thousand, but they fluctuate in price. But that you can get a DeLorean essentially. Like you can get one, and you can buy a replica green D5 jersey, but they're nowhere near. They're just not similar. You can even buy now a replica from Anaheim Ducks. Like they've created their own replica and they sell it for like $200. But and I know when you look at it, we know it's not the same. So yeah, I think I just have to go with that. I'm gonna walk. You know what? I'm gonna walk away and be like, why didn't I say this? Why didn't I pick that? But I mean, if I managed to get that ever one day, I'd be happy with it. So yeah, let's stick with that. What would you go with?
The DeLorean, an original DeLorean, is like a dream of mine. They're like Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies, the trilogy. But like you said, I think if you knew it was the actual one from the film, that would be really special. But
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I really want one of the One Tree Hill jerseys, but I know they don't exist. I mean, I've got to the point of obsession that I've actually been in contact with people at Warner Brothers, and I know that I've been told that they're in a warehouse and they're not being released. But I don't know how closely you see on our page or whatever, but I've contacted the people that supplied the jerseys to the show, and we've got exact replicas made. Like the only time they've ever done it, like the exact same fabric, lettering.
That's crazy.
Everything. I drove the guy insane. Like
it sounds about right. I mean, if you want something right and you get it done right, then yeah. I mean, I don't blame you whatsoever. But I think there's a film to be made of getting them back from Warner Brothers, stick you on a plane, get you over there. I don't know, like hidden cameras for a job interview or something. Just go in, fake security guard, hello sir, and just trying to get in there. Yeah, I think that's maybe they'd just give you one out of sympathy then.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I also, I think something that I've never seen is Bombay's jackets, like his coaching.
For sale. I think so. I think Disney has one of them displayed at Disney, but I'm sure one sold. I'll try and send you a link or a screenshot. I might be going crazy because we look at that many posts, but I have a feeling one might have sold. But there is definitely one out there, owned by Disney or another sort of Hollywood prop, like museums. Yeah, there is pictures out there. I'll send you a link of it if you've not seen it before. But yeah, I mean, that would be another one, because it wasn't just him that had them, and there would have been doubles and whatever else. And I don't know if you've seen the crew jacket from D1.
I've never seen a D1 one, no.
Oh, I'll send you another link. But yeah, they're pretty much the same as Bombay's coach jacket. But even the van driver, he ended up with a coach jacket as well. So there must be ones out there somewhere again, but they might be in a box, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have a replica of that jacket, of the Bombay one. That was like from years ago. I've got Connor's sent in one of our back and forth dealings, Connor's sent me one of the D3 jackets. It's been in Japan on its way here, so it's coming at some point, I think.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that jacket's pretty cool. I think I saw you post on it saying you're coming around to it. It's like the red, like Nike.
Yeah. It's I getting into collecting and things, you know how expensive things can get. And I was trying to bottleneck my collecting and say, I'm not going to do the jackets. I'm not going to do the jackets. I'm not going to do the jackets. And when I saw the D1 jacket, I was like, take my money. And I heard the price and I was like, don't take it just yet. But yeah, I am coming around to them. The more I look at it, especially if it's got 3 patches for D1, D2, and D3, because that's what the D3 varsity jacket does, then you know it's someone that's been in all 3 films, whether it's production crew or whatever else. It's still like a nice, cool thing to have. And I think I'll end up getting them eventually. But yeah, I'm just trying to not go too crazy. There's other things in life that we have to do and whatever else. So
unfortunately, there are bills and mortgages.
Bills and mortgages and mouths to feed and whatever else. So yeah, I mean, I've got 48 jackets or 60 jackets just from living in Manchester because it's cold. So they're gonna have to wait, unfortunately.
The D2 jacket, I had one, but it was a medium, and I'm like 6'2", and the medium doesn't work for me. So
even with 90s fitting,
yeah, even with 90s fitting, that's funny. I really was trying to make a point of not talking about any of my props today because I didn't want to. But so Fulton Reed, it sounds weird in our accent or my accent anyway, like they call
it does, yeah.
Fulton. But he's meant to be like the big guy on the Ducks, but I don't know if you know, but he's actually quite short in real life. Like,
yeah, they do that, don't they?
Like upwards from like lower angles and stuff. But I didn't know that, and so when I saw that it was his tracksuit, I was like, "Oh, perfect! He's the tall guy. I'm tall. It's going to be a good fit." And then I saw it's like a medium, and they're all medium or small, and I was like, "Oh no!" But thank the Lord, it was 90s fitting starter, so it's like massive. So it fits just right. Like the arms are even baggy, so it's like perfect. But the jackets, the jackets are like normal size, even though so
I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah.
I mean, the one from D1 that I was looking at was an XL, I think, and I wear a large jacket, but XLs I know they're going to be just a 10, so try and steer away. But again, like not seeing a D1 jacket, there's not that many about, so I wouldn't want to buy a small and I wouldn't want to buy an XL. It'd have to be a medium or a large, and I just have to live with it. Well, I'd enjoy it obviously, but yeah. I mean, talk about your props all you want, because I mean, a lot of them they'll be they'll be linked with all the stuff that I've got. This was the second one I got, and I'm sure you'll know about, again, Connor's probably going to get, we should just talk about Connor's page instead. And so Connor's got the stunt doubles version of this. This is Luis Mendoza's practice jersey.
That's cool.
Yeah, from D3. this was a cool one to get. Again, Canada. The guy was really nice, actually. It was on eBay for a while, and I was watching it. Didn't pull the trigger. Got speaking to him. Really nice guy. He's actually got the Iceland goalkeeper jersey as well. I'm sure the Iceland team, only two of them had speaking parts. It was Gunnarsdal and Sanderson. And then after that, it was the goalkeeper who literally just got a grunt from where he saved Fulton's shot. And, he was just, and that was it. That was his line for the entire film. But yeah, there was this, and then this is a cool one for me because again, it's the colours of my team, black, red, and yellow, and it's got the arm badge.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which you get on the I'm sure it's on the D3 jacket as well. But yeah,
you instantly know that they're genuine because you can see the Hooter Hockey label.
Oh, the label, yeah.
Yeah, which you can see here in the Hawks one. It's the exact same label.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, again, you know the quality of these. They're really good. And even like it's how old? 30 years. It's not even discolored like around the neck too much. It just looks like it's been worn a couple times. I cannot make out whose it was though. Because Josh Rivers. Don't know. Might have been a stunt person. I don't know who it was. But I ended up getting this one on Facebook.
What did any on Facebook? That's cool.
Yeah.
Did any of yours come with the COA?
Yeah. So I've got one or two. But I mean, it's you. Have you got any? Yeah, it's just a piece of paper with
the sports
out of the 90s, black and white. I mean, COAs for me with anything, whether it's a collectible or anything or original like screen use props and stuff, they don't really mean too much. Great if you're going to get them from the studio and it comes with it. Like if someone said, "Oh, I've got it with a COA," great. But if they don't, doesn't make any difference to me. That it's just a piece of paper that isn't going to be displayed, and it doesn't validate anything for me because if I'm going to be buying it, I know what I'm buying, or I'm going to know what I'm buying. I.e., with the helmet, I didn't get one. I don't think I did, anyways. But I'd done that much research and freeze framing. I knew what I was buying, so they don't really mean too much to me, to be honest.
Well, it was interesting because when the Goldberg one was the first one that I got, and I got that one and the Averman's white jersey from the end of D2. And the Goldberg one, they both had COAs. The Goldberg one was from the wardrobe department, from the Mighty Ducks. And so I was like, okay, so that's legit. And then the other one was from a prop store. So it was, from
was it the prop store?
No, it was from one in California.
Right.
And like I felt like that they were genuine because they were all the guy that I was getting them from, who you've communicated with as well. The guy that I got like the Hawks one from as well.
Yeah.
It was like, well, he was really nice and it was like straightforward, and you could tell, and he was educating me on how to spot, that they were genuine and whatever. And but it was interesting because I then contacted, I was able to screen match. Matt Doherty authenticated the Averman jersey himself, which was incredible.
Yeah.
But when I then got some of the other jerseys, the COAs did match, like from Sports Robe. This was called Sports Robe. Yeah. I don't know if that's written on, is that written on your COA?
Yeah.
Well, those ones are definitely like legit, but like you said, I mean, people can like, make these on Photoshop or whatever. But so screen matching is the real way. Yeah, that's the exact same.
Yeah, and I mean, one of them has been in a case and one of them hasn't. It's folded. I mean, they've both got the exact same signature, but you can tell they've been handwritten because they're not like exactly the same. Yeah.
I mean, they're like you said, they're cool to have, but yeah, they still screen matching them and just knowing, like, I mean, also when they're made by Hooter Hockey or CCM or whatever, it's like, well, the amount of how crazy it would be to make a replica from the same, all of it would be so difficult to actually do, like,
Yeah.
to get a CCM jersey that would match a Team USA one or something would be crazy.
Yeah,
And to get
wild.
the lettering right.
Absolutely wild. And I mean, if you've got a D5 jersey and you're selling it, and you don't have the COA, I don't care. The end of the day, I'm not gonna care. And like I say, like when I have displays in my mind, nothing has a COA. Like with the helmet, I have a puck with a plaque on it, and just to say what it is, and then a puck with the title treatment from D3 because they use them as promo materials in the 90s. So it's like a nice thing to put with it in the case. And that is like a not a bootleg case, but I just made that display. I have it on this. I bought a Perspex case with a black bottom, and then had the puck stuck. Well, had the one puck done myself, and then the other one was just from eBay. So I mean, none of that, none whatsoever have a COA on display in mind. So yeah, they don't fuss me too much. And with some of the stuff that I've got, it's like handmade. Just sort of like, well, I mean, I mean, you've got one of these.
I love it.
Yeah. So I sent a letter with one, right?
Yeah, you gave me number 33 to go with the jersey.
Yeah. So it's not like an official thing. It's just from Aaron in Manchester. It's not like Disney have made it or anything, but it's just like like you say, a nice thing to have.
I love it.
Like handmade. It's not. I mean, it looks like it was in the film, but it's not completely off the Mighty Ducks head. But I'm going to put it on so it's a bit easier. It's a Freddy glove. Yeah,
awesome.
Right. But specifically from Dream Warriors, the third film, where he's in a hospital. He's got like these syringes with the blue liquid in and stuff. And I mean, I actually have this with like a little like a thing that it sits on. I don't know. I just didn't use my normal arm, but there's like a sleeve with like the Freddy jumper that's been weathered and stuff. But I'm not going to get a COA with this because it was made by, I don't know, Phil in a shed. Like it just, do you know what I mean? It's irrelevant. Also, I think if I was to buy the real thing that was used in the film, I'm probably gonna, I don't know, not have a house because it's probably gonna be about 30 grand or I don't know. But yeah, even stuff that's, if you bought it from, again, like mass produced, like, so this I have.
Yeah, I've seen this on Instagram. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it out of the case. Ooh.
So this is the arm from T2, right?
Yeah. And it's really nice. Like it's quite light and whatever else. But I ordered this from Xavi a year before it arrived. There was production issues and whatever else. And at some point I was like, they're just not going to make them. I was so frustrated. And then they eventually did. I think I was just about to go on holiday for 2 weeks. And Xavi was like, we're shipping your thing. And I was like, no, I'm not going to be here. Don't do it. But someone was in to get it anyway. So I managed to get it. But like, even on here, it's like, I've left the cellophane on, but it's like limited edition number 242 of 1,200. I guess that's the COA for this, but this is mass produced. I doubt someone's going to make a replica of something mass produced. I mean, people do the arms and whatever else, but not like with the same materials. And like you say, go into all that effort, you'd be able to make a flipping full endoskeleton if you get an arm in this material. So yeah, I'm sure I've got. So they did this because they do skulls, or they originally sold skulls for the I think it was a DVD, endo skulls with like a little drawer in the back where the film goes and whatever else, and they're so popular, and I'm sure they go for like maybe £300 plus. I don't know, $420 for reference, maybe more, but yeah, I mean, they were popular, and then I knew when this was coming out or going up for order, I knew it was going to be a pain to get hold of, but I was on it, like the best. I think I was in work as well, so like the quickest computer with the best internet connection, with my card details already preloaded, like ready to go, no messing about. But yeah, I mean, these aren't the easy. Well, actually, I don't know. A couple of years ago, they weren't easy to get hold of. They might be now, but again, it's not something that it's not like, oh my God, this is an amazing piece, it's from the film, blah, blah, blah. But I probably just wouldn't sell this. It's probably only going to be worth like 200 quid. And it's just not something that I'd want to sell. Again, it fits in with the image I have in my head. Like I know where it's going. I know what it's going to be next to. And again, like, because I collect all sorts of other stuff, I've got an original quad poster that they would have used in 1991 in cinemas, signed by the guy who played the T-1000 and another cast member. And just like them together in my head is one of the images. But yeah, so there's that. There's I'll throw these in quickly. Just going back to the Mighty Ducks, I actually got this as a present. It's a mini purple helmet signed by Joshua Jackson, Charlie Conway, for anyone that doesn't know. And I met Brandon Adams, who played Jesse Hall in Liverpool, completely random. But again, this comes with a COA, and it's like you put this code in on their website, and it's another digital COA. And it's just like, I'm not going to do that. Great. I mean, I did do just to see what it was, because they put like a little sticker on the back of it. But it was like, yeah, cool. But I was hungover one day, the day I met Brandon Adams, and I had no idea he was in Liverpool. Someone sent me a screenshot of him signing at a horror convention, actually, because he's in it's called like The People Under the Stairs or something like that. I've not seen it anyways, but yeah, he was in that. And then I just turned up to this horror convention hungover, where everyone's walking around. There's Freddy gloves, there's this, everyone's got everything's horror. There's a flipping Scream Zone, and I'm here with a Disney Mighty Ducks jersey, just like, do you mind are you gonna hate me for bringing a Disney thing in here? And they're just like, nah, I think he said each to their own, man, don't worry about it. But he was a really nice guy as well. And then I got a white one. This isn't signed or anything. I get things just in case people come over. I'm like, oh, I'll get them to sign this, or I'll get them to sign that. Because with that, like, you can just get multiple signatures on things. And I don't know how you feel or anyone else feels about getting things signed and whatever else. I wouldn't get one of the screen used things signed. That's just an awful idea. So I always get replicas signed and stuff.
What do you know, Matt Doherty signed one of his USA jerseys. Is this on the front, and the white star is signed, and obviously we love you, Matt Doherty. We love you. But yeah, someone, I think the guy that I got these jerseys from was like, he was so mad about it. He was like so angry.
Why would you do that? Just, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a nice placement to have a signature, like nice white star, whatever else. Get it done on a replica. Just don't do it on the real thing. Come on. And oh, sorry, I'll just while we're on the Mighty Ducks as well. I mean, I know we've been on it for.
No, we love it. We love it.
So this was a gift, which is quite special. And even though it's a copy, like I know exactly where it's come from. I know the real thing. I know, and it's come like straight from the source, essentially. So this is a copy of the complete D2 script from someone from the film.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like when I started reading it, I was like, there's so many things that just aren't in the film, like whatsoever, even on the first page. Just yeah, that's a cool one. And I've never thought about Howard. I never thought about really getting scripts. So I don't know how I'm going to display it, but I will find a way at some point. It might just be reading material in the room. Put some
a reading corner, a nice reading corner with
exactly. Be in the study or the library, or you can technically call it that, and not a movie room.
There's a scene you have to send like shots of the pages or whatever, because I know there's like they shot a scene of like a fight at the beach or something that was never included, or it's not on any deleted scenes or anything. So yeah, we need to see what happened there.
It's so I mean, I'll send you all the why wasn't this in the film pages. But yeah, like you say, like there's pictures of it. It's confusing as to why they're not even in the deleted scenes.
They're probably trying to get like a PG rating or something.
Yeah. I mean, there is that, isn't there? And even like working in the film industry now, I see things having to be changed so much to get it down from a 15 to a 12A, and even in trailers, like just to get a trailer down from a 12A to a PG or whatever it is, it's difficult. So a lot gets chopped out, and I'm sure films I'm sure they go on for hours really, but we don't get the pleasure of watching them extended versions all the time, unless it's Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I'm sure still has deleted scenes somehow.
Yeah.
They'll have saved some for the DVD release. But yeah,
an extended version. Yeah.
8 hours. I mean, I'm here for it. I like a good long film. I don't mind. So yeah, I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. Trying to see what else I've got that might like link from that. I've got 3 things left, and they're all sort of weapons, really. So let's go with something recent. Yeah, okay, let's go with something recent. So you might have seen it then. I was drunk one night when I was like 21, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy one of them things, and they was like, where did that come from? And I was like, I don't know, I just want to do it. And then I think I got home, went onto eBay, paid it, and I was like, I think I woke up the next day like, why did I do that? Not in like a completely regret it way, and it's embarrassing or whatever else, but I was just like, why didn't I just buy it anyway, like when I was sober, because I wanted it. But yeah, so it's a resin Mjolnir.
Wow.
Try and get it all in. Yeah, it's, you know what, Disney, Hasbro, whoever it was, Marvel made like mass-produced replicas of these. They come on like a nice little stand and whatever else, but they look plastic, and this doesn't look as plastic just because someone's hand painted it. And I ended up getting this from China, and again with the customs fees and whatever else, it was just like, it was mega frustrating. But yeah, like I wouldn't sell it because I don't need to. And eventually, if Chris Hemsworth comes over and does a UK con, boom, something to sign, easy, done. And then in that sort of same universe, are you a Marvel fan?
Not particularly. Not particularly. I mean, I wasn't really into like the comics and stuff as a kid. So I think some of it's a bit wasted on me.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. I mean, I wasn't into the comics. I like well-made films, and they were good films. A lot of Thor 1 was like a periodic drama. It was honestly just so different to what a superhero movie is commonly known as. It was just really weird, but I enjoyed it for that. So this is again a mass-produced replica. I have to stand back again. But
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome.
I don't know how close I can get in, but anytime like people go to conventions and I'm there for whatever reason, I'll get them to sign it. I don't have Chris Evans yet, unfortunately, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point. But there is Anthony Mackie, who plays Falcon, and
Papa Doc.
What was that? Sorry. Oh, sorry.
And he played Papa Doc in 8 Mile.
Yeah. When I realized that, I was like, no way. And you know what? Again, like he's supposed to be an Avenger. He's like 5'8" and not that big. But yeah, he's great. He's everything that he does. Like even what else was he in?
He did a really good Black Mirror episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Letitia Wright, who's on this as well. She was in a great Black Mirror episode. But he did Pain and Gain with Mark Wahlberg and The Rock, and he is hilarious. Anthony Mackie, that is, he's just so funny. We've got Christopher Eccleston, who's in Thor 2. Michael Rooker, who made a 10-year-old do star jumps and press ups to get something signed for free in front of me, and I was like, I'll do this. I don't mind. But yeah, it was like, come on, proper like egging him on in his like America. I was like, come on, you can do it. Which is really awkward. There is Mads Mikkelsen, who played Calisius in Doctor Strange. Benedict Wong, who I think is a fellow Mancunian. He was in Doctor Strange too. Peggy Carter, I forget her name. Don't hate me. Paul Bettany, Jarvis.
Wow. And these are all from like Comic Cons?
Yeah. I mean, I'm usually there for work, so it's easy for me to just drop in and be like, oh, I'm just gonna whip over and get this signed quickly. I'm like, yeah, cool, no worries. Yeah, again, Letitia Wright, Tom Vaughan Lawler, who plays Ebony Moore, and Pom Clementif, who plays, what is her name? She's in Guardians of the Galaxy. But she, again, like just like little interactions with these people that some of them are just like, oh yeah, sure, we'll sign it, whatever. But some of them are like, yeah, cool, oh, blah, blah, this is great. Oh, you got this person, that person. Whatever else, it's cool. Like, just, I mean, if you're a big fan of it, and you was going to go meet the Mighty Ducks, and they were just all arseholes, it would taint it so badly. But yeah, I'm sure it won't be. They can't be.
I'm sure they're not. I mean, I appreciate it as a fan of fandom. You know, like I appreciate anyone that loves something. I appreciate their love for it, if that makes sense. You know, unless they're like a Nazi or something, then I don't. But you know, if it's like anything that's moving,
that would be weird.
You know, then it's all good, and regardless of whether I like it or not, you know, like I'm pretty positive that you don't like One Tree Hill, but I'm sure that doesn't detract the fact that, you know, I like it and want to get this, like, you know, like you appreciate other people's, you know, love for things.
Yeah, and the lengths that you've gone to get them jerseys is ridiculous. So props to you, which is, I didn't mean to say that.
There we go. We go.
Oh god, I actually lied by accident. I've still got 3 things to show you.
I love it. Bring it on.
So
get it.
Yeah. So
no way. Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, Pepsi did these in 2015, I think it was.
Of course.
Was it 15? It was. Yeah. So for Back to the Future Day, what is it? October 21st?
Yeah, or 22nd or 23rd. It's one of them 3. I think it's 22nd.
So sorry. I'll get something for you that'll confirm it for us.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, this is 26th, 21st, and 12th. So
21st. So you were right.
It was one of them. This is just this is like a Blu-ray special edition thing. There's, again, mass produced, nothing crazy, but comes as a VHS inside, and There's a load of like the almanac and the lenticular photo where they start disappearing and stuff, and then the movies underneath. Nothing crazy, but it's a nice thing. It was for the 35th anniversary.
That's cool.
But yeah, so Back to the Future Day, where they re-released the films into cinemas and stuff. They did these in the UK and Mexico, and I don't know why just them two places. They've done versions as well, which come with like a collector's box, but they're like $300, and I'm not paying that for a Pepsi.
If it was Coke, that'd be different, but Pepsi, no.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah. So they did these. I think this is the Mexican one. There's only like a slight difference, and I'm sure it's just the blue top and the straw is ever so slightly different. Maybe the height of it. Honestly, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's only a slight difference. And they gave them out in London in Empire Leicester Square, which I didn't know about at the time because I was in the film industry, but I was working for a cinema in Manchester, so there was no way I was going to hear about these happening in London. It was only a couple months later when I was a bit further into the film industry, and I went down to London for a meeting, and one of my colleagues was like, "Oh yeah, we just need to go to Leicester Square quickly because I've not been since this happened, and someone's got something for me." And it was one of these, and I was like, "Oh my God, what?" They were blowing up on eBay and whatever else, and it was just one of them things that, again, like you mentioned, you have the notifications on, and when the time's right and someone puts it up for the right price, boom, I'm in. But I doubt I'll ever get the Nike did Marty McFly's Bruins, the white and red trainers that he wore, and yeah, they go for silly prices as well, even though they're just the same as this, where I should have been drinking from this, shouldn't I? Yeah, where they're just mass produced and it's like a replica, and they're given out or sold or whatever. But yeah, they go for crazy money.
Nike do some great stuff. I don't know. Do you like Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Did you see the
Cortezes and stuff?
Yeah, I got well into it. Like I think I had like 3 pairs of like some of the. I had like the blazers. They had two types of the blazers. The one type that was just like the classic. Another type that you set them on fire, and then they change, and they like the outside is sort of made of some sort of like cloth or whatever, and it turns into like the upside down.
That's crazy.
I still have them. I've never worn them, and I haven't set them on fire. But maybe I'll do it on here one time. And then the Cortezes, and they're so comfortable. They're so good. But I bet now I got them like just at, from the Nike website for like whatever they were going for. But I bet now they're like crazy money on eBay. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, anything to do with films and trainers is always something that picks up. K-Swiss recently did something for Breaking Bad, and they sold quite quickly as well. So nice. I managed to get some Toy Story Vans, and they were I can't remember what model that is. It Era? I don't know. The basic ones. They've got like this lace is like halfway down the foot. They're nice, but they wrote Andy on the bottom of the shoe, which was quite cool. And they was like neon green almost, because it was just all of the aliens, as if it was the vending, not the vending machine, the claw machine.
Yeah.
And then you just had like Buzz's head popping out in one side, and then Woody popping out on the other, and they were quite cool. But again, like some of this stuff just goes for a lot more than what people should be paying for Vans these days. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave them and not touch them for a while. I've not worn them, and I've had them for about 4 years.
Well, that's really cool. This is slightly off topic, but just interested in your opinion. I really like buying Blu-rays and DVDs. Like if the Blu-ray doesn't like exist or whatever,
yeah,
I like having them. Like I would like generally rip them and put them on my own Plex or whatever, not to share, just for me. That's legal.
That's fine.
Sharing
I think
I'm buying it. I'm paying. but some of them are getting like increasingly more difficult. Like they just won't release them for like a physical release. As someone that like works in the industry, will we get to a point where they will just not release Blu-rays at all ever anymore? And if they do that, will you be sad about that, or do you not care about the physical media?
No, physical media is, like I said, the thing that I've stayed consistent with like throughout my entire life almost, whether it's been videos and then DVDs and now Blu-rays and steelbooks and special editions and whatever else. I'll always stick with physical media. I'm always buying and selling, but I can't see us getting to the point of not having physical media. Maybe within our lifetimes, maybe in 100 years they'll just stop doing it because streaming is just that easy. But yeah, for me, there's something about having a physical copy that still brings back like special memories of being in Blockbuster, or I don't know, like going to Asda or HMV or whenever it is, when a special edition or the release day of a film that I've not watched for 4 months, because that's usually the gap of release in cinema and then home media. Maybe far into the future, but I mean, so physical media picked back up again at the start of the pandemic. So people
really
going crazy and bulk buying films and whatever else, because I'd see it on people's Instagram stories in America, just like hardly any Blu-rays on the shelf, and it was just like, yeah, I mean, it's coming back. So yeah, I think it'll remain a lot. And I mean, speaking of doing like burning your own copies and whatever else, I don't burn my own copies, but I did have these made.
Just to clarify, just for the internet, I don't burn copies. I have them on my hard drive, so I can stream them myself.
Sorry, that was my fault then.
No, it's all good. I'm just I don't want the police coming.
So D1, like the jersey, I say I had them made. I asked very kindly to someone that was making them for themselves. But again, Jesse Hall on the back. Another copy of D1, which I don't need. I've just bought the DVDs and then put them in here. I'm not brave enough to get the Blu-rays from America like you, which I'm very jealous about still. Again, a number 9 player, Banks. I didn't have anything of Portman, like not in jerseys or anything, so I thought just get that. So this is the second copy of D2. Waves, yeah. Third copy of D2, number 9. Fourth copy of D2. But I suppose I could use this for D3 as well, so kind of gets away with it. D3, call on the back, and D3.
Love it. Oh, you got Averman on that one. Nice.
Yeah. They were off all the way from Scotland. Odd, but the Mighty Ducks spreads far and wide.
I've got just on talking on Averman and getting some things custom done. I had the Averman jersey that I sold to Connor. I've had there's a guy in Russia that custom makes sweatshirts, and he's got a really good Mighty Ducks one, and I've had it custom done to have like Averman on the back with the numbers and everything. I'll put some pictures up in here. I'll send you some pictures after
Please
this.
do.
But it's really cool. I think I haven't received it yet. It's been shipping for a while, but I'm sure it will be here soon. It might be something you want to get involved in, because it looks like it's
Does it look like the jersey?
Yeah, it's just like it's a jumper, but it looks like the jersey, but it's like a crew neck, but it looks, I think it's that all the lettering is like identical to the jersey. It looks dope. I think it looks
really
cool.
That sounds nice. So I mean, I don't know what it is. 90s was just an epic decade for films, and you grew up in the 90s. You knew what it was like.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of you viewers and listeners are from the 90s and similar age and whatnot. And there was another film that had that will always have a lasting effect. It wasn't a sports film, oddly, but it was with Robin Williams, who's like my all-time favorite actor. And I was so close to getting a screen used item from the film, and I got outbid, and I was like, I just can't justify it. When it was from an auction site, it was on auction, and they were like, we're gonna, what we can't put into the auction price is the percentage, because they add another 26% of the final price, which is crazy. And then the shipping and insurance, and then customs and fees and whatever else, I'm just going to get as and when, because we live in a great country for that, apparently. It's just, they're so ridiculous. For anyone that doesn't live in the UK, if we get something shipped here, it goes through customs and gets taxed. They have a handling fee of £12 to £24, which is fine, but it's ridiculous because they're like, is that not their job? Like, why are we paying? Like, are you just? I don't. It doesn't make sense. And then there's a percentage of whatever you paid, including the shipping and insurance. So that varies from whether it's a jersey or a kettle or, I don't know, biscuits. Like, there's different categories for different items, and then there's just like little bits that they add on, and it's just like, why am I paying almost a third of the price? Like, when I got this jersey, I think they mixed up Canadian dollars and American dollars and gave me the tax on American dollars, so it ended up being like a third of what I actually paid for this. And I was just like, it just doesn't make a third. Like, really, just doesn't make sense. So when there's like, it's not necessarily hidden fees, but they're just sort of, what can we call them? Background fees that we don't see until they say, we're going to take your money for this, or hold it hostage until you do pay. It just doesn't make sense for me. And I get people want to make money and whatever else, but 26%, I digress. I almost got it, and I was gutted when I didn't. And I've seen the thing float about on websites and Facebook groups and whatever else. But I'll show you the item, and then I'll tell you what that was. So this, I made one last summer, because no one really sells them. It's not something that you would go to a shop and see. So I made one, and it took me forever. It took me so long. I ended up shipping it, and it got damaged in transit, and I was gutted. I was gutted for the person. So I sent them like a replacement part. And yeah, but this is like cue the music sort of time, like John Williams, flipping epic scenes. It's the gold sword from Hook, which is,
wow, it gleams, it's gleaming.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's a bit dirty at the minute because I've had it in storage for a bit, but it's like, I made it with a legit coconut as well. I don't know what this is. This might be a coconut as well. I think it is. But like, awesome. Little imperfections with like wood shavings that are painted and dyed and stuff, and then a leather handle. I'm gonna replace this handle because I actually bought this one just because I'm not a skilled carpenter.
Looks like you are.
Well, I mean, the other one it wasn't too dissimilar. Like, I had the shape right and the shine and everything, and I just took my time with it and researched it as much as I could and made it as best I could. But I actually preferred my handle. I turned like, this is just like a thin leather piece that's wrapped around it. I went and bought leather. Like, you could buy samples of leather. So I went and bought like a pack of them, picked the best one, and then I found when it was on there, it was nicer from the suede side up. So it was a suede handle instead of a leather one. But it took me forever to stitch through leather. You have to poke the holes and then get it through and then stitch and then poke the next hole. And it's just a pain. but that was fun. And again, like this is one of them things. I see it in the room. I see the end goal, and that's like, I know where it's going to be. I know how it's going to look. And it's next to my bed in case of intruders, because
Could you imagine the headline? Intruder gets maimed by Hook's sword.
Yeah, just ridiculous. And there's ones from the film like out there, like the stunt sword, which is, it's got like a half bit there which detracts and whatever else. And these go for like 17 grand and stuff. And I know,
Wow.
yeah, Dante Basco, who played Rufio, he's got the sword that he used. So there was multiple versions. He's got that in his room or in his apartment, whatever it is. You can see it in the background sometimes when he's doing whatever on Instagram, whatever else. Someone actually got me a cameo of him. I can't remember what it was for, but he picked up the sword and used it in the video, and I was at this point I'd already made it as well, so I was like, yeah, it's cool. But yeah, that's like one of my favorite things. And again, import fees and customs and whatever else, it was just like,
well, that's almost more special though. Like, you know, and you've made it yourself. I think that's really cool. And they're skills that like I just do not have. But that's really cool. And Hook is such a great movie. Like, those are the sort of 90s movies that I absolutely love. And like you said, Robin Williams, it was just like such a major part of like my childhood as well, with, you know, like being the voice of the genie in Aladdin and Mrs. Doubtfire and
Jumanji,
Adams, Jumanji. Yeah, there's so
the
many.
list goes on.
Yeah, his is just legendary. And yeah, I mean, this I would be remiss to say to not say that we have a podcast interview with Thomas Tulik, who played Too Small. That's on YouTube, probably on the, like, I don't know, suggested tab or something, which was a lot of fun. He was really awesome. He had
The book.
the book. Yeah, he had the book from Robin Williams, which is so amazing. And he had loads of great stories to tell. He's really cool, and someone that, you know, appreciates, you know, the movie and what it gave him. And yeah, great film.
Yeah, it's a good interview as well. He's a very enjoyable person to listen to and watch as well. Like, obviously with the book and stuff, you're not going to get that on the podcast, so it's definitely worth watching just to see things like that we would have seen it otherwise. Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's actually, oh, sorry, missed one. But this is TV, so sort of get away with it.
And TV's good. We love TV.
Actually considering selling this at the minute, ironically, because I want to buy a bike. And it is a custom vest from Sons of Anarchy.
That's cool.
By the cast.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's kind of fitting that I'm selling it to buy a bike, but
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm considering it. But I had this made for a fancy dress party that we go to each year with work. And they always set a theme. And the first year was box sets. And our table said, oh, we'll do Sons of Anarchy. Like, no one else will be doing that. So someone that and opposed to that, no. I asked them, I was like, can you do leather and stuff? And they was like, yeah, no problem. So I bought the vest and I bought the patches, and then I took it to her, and she did all that. And then it was great, but it was too clean. So I took it to a car park and I just drove over it a bunch of and it was wet. It was wet, so like it was going through puddles. Like, you can see it's not like perfect. Yeah, like there's scratches and stitches coming out a little bit. I just wanted it to look a bit more authentic. And then when I was done with it, again, just going to Comic-Cons and stuff, like the people were going to be there, so I was like, oh, I'll get it signed. It'll be a cool piece when it's done. And there's like the whole cast, like not the whole cast, but like the main people who, I don't know if you've seen Sons of Anarchy. It's good. I give it a go. But like Charlie Hunnam, Ron Perlman, Mark Boone Jr., who for me was in Too Fast, Too Furious as well. That was like one of the first films that I went to see at the cinema without an adult, and it was great because I love the Fast and Furious film. They're ridiculous. Tommy Flanagan, who was in Braveheart, and he's in a bunch of other things as well. Ryan Hurst, if you've ever heard of him, he's in The Walking Dead. He's a Beta, a really tall guy. Did you fall off Walking Dead?
Yes, I did. I got to about season 7 or 8 or something, and then it was just they on like 10 or 11 now.
Something silly like that. Yeah. Did you not see it when there was the herd?
No, I kind of do. You know when Negan entered and he smashed up. Spoiler alert. Smashed up Glenn with the bat. I saw I saw maybe a season after that, and then that was it. Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, if you don't know who he is, then that's that.
So if people want to hit you up, on Instagram or social media, about props or any of the stuff that you've spoken about or anything, where can they find you?
Instagram's going to be the best place to find me. Cakeeater91. If you're selling, if you want to buy something, maybe at the right price it will go, but mainly selling. Yeah, Cakeeater91 on Instagram. You'll be able to get hold of me there.
Awesome. And if anyone wants to find me on Instagram, I'm at very simply Simon Podcasts.
Nice. Does what it says on the tin.
Exactly that. And Aaron, this has been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it, and it's been thank you so much for showing us your collection. And then hopefully as we go on and as you get more things, we can see how it continues to develop, and then eventually we can get a tour of your room, of the dream cinema room.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to do that. You'd be able to come and film it yourself. You'd be able to hold something, I don't know, but yeah, I've actually got something has been checked into England today. Like, I mean, we probably shouldn't mention the time right now because it's probably not right. But at 7:40 p.m. today, something checked into England. So like the next prop thing. And I'll tell you what that is maybe, but we'll save it for episode 2.
That's awesome. I love that feeling when you got like something's on its way, and it's like it makes the next day, whenever it just feels so much better. It's like, yes, I get to unbox something today.
Yeah, and with like the bank holiday weekend and the pandemic and stuff, everything's gone super slow, and I honestly had the worst sinking feeling that I had gone missing because it's not been checked in since. Well, they scanned it twice in Chicago, so it was like, your item is leaving. It doesn't have a voice; it's online. I just read it in this voice. Your item is leaving Chicago International Service Port, whatever it was, and then a day later, your item is leaving Chicago, and I was like, what? Please don't mess this up. Please, come on. But no, it just sort of went quiet for a little bit, and I was speaking to the person. And I was just like, yeah, I hope it's going to be soon. Like, I tried blaming it on the pandemic, like everyone's doing, and bank holidays. Bank holidays, for anyone that doesn't know what they are, they're like a national holiday, and it's the Friday and Monday in most cases, where we just get it off. Or Royal Mail don't work whatsoever, so there was no chance of getting any updates then. But yeah, it checked in this evening, so should be with me in the next couple of days, hopefully. That'll be up on Instagram straight away.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I look forward to seeing it. And yeah, thank you everyone for listening. And hopefully more of these to come. Let us know in the comments what you think about about all of this stuff, and anything that you have. If you have anything out there and you want to share it with the world, this is like the ultimate show and tell, basically. So get in touch, and yeah, thank you.
Cheers.
I'm telling you, you blow this game and nobody makes the team next year.
Mad props.